we were showing people Echo last week, and people were asking me like, "Oh, can you tell me some, cool stories from playing her?" And we were testing a new assault map, and it was really interesting because we were on the second point,
Mm-hmm.
and the enemy team, we were defending. I was on the defending team, and the enemy team had an Echo, and our team was just schooling the other team. We thought we were going to win for sure,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of the sudden, the enemy Echo copies our Roadhog, gets whole hog off, clears half the team off the point, gets a second ult, and clears the other team off the point, and they win. And we're like, what just happened?
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I want to try. Did you try this with Ash?
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah.
Okay, because I'm
Do it.
curious how. Can you have multiple bombs?
You can't have multiple bobs.
Okay. That was something I was kind of curious about.
There you go.
I just got 2 bobs and like, whoa. Oh, and Bob stays for his duration.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So when Echo dies as a duplicated enemy, she will turn into back to Echo. She doesn't actually die.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Okay. Wow. That's pretty cool.
So the thing is, it all sounds very powerful, and it is. And obviously, this is going to be the top thing that we're going to be balancing on the PTR. I duplicate,
Yeah.
focusing beam, the
Sure.
sticky bombs. We're going to make sure her damage is within reason. But at the same time, we want it to be crazy and fun and bonkers and feel like Overwatch. So the imagination that this immediately spurs for people, I think, is really fun. And there's tons of balancing knobs on this.
I'm just testing something. Wow. Holy cow. Okay. I was curious.
We were
Okay, go ahead. Sorry,
joking.
Jeff.
No, it's all good. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. We were joking that the previously on the dev team, and every project I've ever worked on, there's always something that causes the most bugs internally. On World of Warcraft, it was in Scarlet Monastery when Whitemane would resurrect Mograine.
Right.
Like, that was never-ending bugs for years and years. It never went away. And on Overwatch, it's always been Diva and Baby Diva has always been the top issue.
Right.
Causes the most challenges. Well, now we have Echo Duplicate, which we're like, okay, that's the new thing that's going to cause the biggest amount of bugs. And then we realized you can use Duplicate on Diva and Baby Diva. And
Yeah. Right.
It's like exponential bugs now at this point.
That's awesome. I mean, obviously an ultimate is meant to be, the best ability the character has. This is really, really crazy. The Diva Bomb one, I was like, man, I wonder how many Diva Bombs I can get off in the 15 seconds that I'm her. So you said when she dies, so like I'm Diva and they kill me, right? I pop back up as Echo in that moment.
Yes.
Right then? Okay, cool.
Yeah, and something to remember, like in the training room, everything seems a little crazy.
Yeah.
What we've seen, like what happens a lot in playtesting and you'll see it when we put the PTR up and you see real matches happening.
Sure.
Echo has no defensive abilities whatsoever, unless you consider the flight defensive. The typical thing that happens, it reminds me of if you watch gold and plat players when they get nano boosted.
Mm-hmm.
Which is me, by the way. When we get nano boosted, it's like we can no longer see anything but red, and we just run in and we 1v6, and we end up dead all the time. That's very common with Echo. That we're finding is people are a little overly aggressive.
Right.
Similar to Genji, it's like, if you use that dash or Doomfist in that way, if you use the dash or if you use the punch or the uppercut to get in all the time, you have nothing to get yourself out.
Right, exactly. And she doesn't have a ton of health, right? I mean, she can get...
No, she's 200 HP, which is...
I mean,
the
only
not
person...
quite as bad as Tracer,
right,
but...
a little more than Tracer.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Tracer has a lot more ways to get away, so...
Yeah.
I'm curious. I want to try Anna.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Honor.
Wow.
Get in there.
You could get like.
This,
Application initiated.
oh, I got rid of it.
Oops. I thought Mayu was up. And
So
you.
we
Go ahead.
initially had it where you could duplicate your friendly team, but we found that
Reversing personality
that caused a lot of issues. There was a little bit too much coordinated, like double Genji Dragon Blade action going on.
Yeah,
and
that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
It's almost like back when it was like you could have any lock, right? How, what was it? It was like double Zarya, double Lucio.
yeah,
I remember playing that back in the day. So I could definitely see how something like that could come from it. Like, okay, I'll play Echo, you play Lucio, and we'll double beat or something like that. I don't know.
it's kind of an interesting mechanic if you think about it being enemy only, in that you have some control over who Echo can
play,
duplicate
right.
by like switching off of heroes. So
Yeah, like if their Echo keeps destroying you on Diva and keeps taking your Diva and like getting multiple bombs, you're like, okay, get off Diva.
yeah, totally. So we think that'll be a lot of fun. We think it'll be good. But before everybody panics about a couple things, there's tons of balancing knobs here that we have. So we're not super worried about that. And then also, I know a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh my gosh, she should have been a support." We have multiple tanks and supports in development, so we know that more tanks and supports are needed, and we want to deliver on those too.
Well, and the last damage, correct me if I'm wrong, the last damage was Ashe, right?
Ashe,
And
yeah.
that was, gosh, when was that? Was that last year?
2018.
2018?
Yeah, we announced her at BlizzCon 2018.
Right. She is fun. Even her,
Yeah.
like, her ultimate is, I think, incredible, right? But her abilities and the way she plays too is just like, I don't know, it's fun. I'm interested to watch like really good players get good with
Yeah.
her, because I am not compared to a lot of the people out there. Like, a lot of these people are insane. Like, someone that gets really good with her is going to be really fun to watch.
Watching those great, I think it's going to be interesting because there's like the mobility. There's the mobility that reminds me of the great Tracer players, but then there's also, the projectile-based nature of her. And then also exciting to me, like I'm thinking about the OWL players.
Yeah.
Think about the ones who, there's those players like Surefour, who's great on all heroes.
True.
And how much he's going to excel with the ultimate. And normally we don't get to see the damage OWL players playing tanks and support, and there's going to be moments where they switch to tanks and support at mid-match using Echo. It's just going to be crazy.
When you do the ult, is it full health? Like, if I swap Ryan here,
Yes.
I'm full health. Okay.
Adaptive circuits
So
engaged.
we've seen in our internal playtests, how sometimes Doomfist's ultimate gets used as almost a survival mechanism, like
Yes.
you don't actually intend to meteor strike anybody, you just do it to save yourself.
Yep.
You can also do that with Echo, like
Reversing personality.
see like those earth shatters.
I was like, I wonder how many I can get before my time's up.
Yeah.
Man, she is cool.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's really interesting because I'm very curious. Are people gonna duplicate more? I don't know. Like, in your tests, have you noticed if people do it typically with more damage, more support, or is it like more situational? I guess.
We're seeing two main use cases. And of course, like there's these situational stories that are funny, but the main use cases we're seeing for what our internal meta of 150 people is worth is almost always tanks. Primarily, we're duplicating tanks, but also the other thing that you'll see occasionally are long cooldown heroes with long cooldowns that are very powerful. So example would be like Baptiste Immortality Field or
Right.
Mercy Res. Like
Yeah.
it's almost worth it to duplicate sometimes to pull off a Mercy Res.
That's literally why I pulled Mercy out there, because I was thinking like maybe I can't really res in PTR, or in training room, obviously, but I was like, I wonder like how that would play out. And because I'm assuming the ults all generate the same way. So like Mercy, when you heal people, you generate all, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So yeah, this is cool, man.
We also added something in the interface options, where because with Ana, a lot of times you're nano boosting the wrong target, and we found there was a lot of that happening with Echo as well, because the enemy team's not cooperating with you as much as your team,
Right.
when you're trying to target them. So by default, it works very similar to it works very similar to Ana, where you just like target over, press your ultimate button, and then you'll switch into them. But we also added like a confirm mode in the interface options if you want to enable that, and we did that for Ana too. So that might be nice for people to fool around with at some
So
point.
you said that's just in the interface?
Target located.
Yeah, it should be under like, let me see, options, control.
Gameplay?
It's under the hero specific options.
Oh, so that
Yeah, you have to switch to like Echo, and then where did we put it? It's under,
target confirmation, is that it?
yeah,
I see.
duplicate requires target confirmation.
Interesting. So just in case there's obviously someone's in a grav and you're trying to duplicate someone in a grav, you can like confirm it. You may not just misclick onto a diva or something like that.
When you have that option selected, basically the first time you press Q on somebody, it just gives you a little icon of the hero, and then you have to left click to confirm or right
Here, I'll
click
turn
to
it on
cancel
real
at
quick
that
just
point.
to show everyone.
It takes some getting
Okay.
used to.
I see. Yeah. And do you know, I'm assuming are you able to do this through like a shield? Like if you're Ryan?
I can't remember where we netted out on that. But the thing with her was she's got this crazy flight ability, so you can just go up above Ryan.
I guess
and
right. You can just
grab him pretty easily.
Yeah, let's say he's there. You just go up
Yeah.
here. I want to try.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
Now the thing with Zarya is I can't really kill things fast.
She has the slowest ult generation in the game, so it's hard. It's not impossible.
Right.
It's just very difficult.
And what I've noticed too when I'm doing it is when
Echo online.
obviously when the ult's out, you're not generating more ult there.
Yeah.
Obviously. So
Yeah.
I think, me personally, I would love to use this. I know tank would probably make more sense, but like, I think when you're on McCree and if you can duplicate a McCree and like fly up and then you kind of float there for a second, it's almost like they wouldn't expect it. Like here, I'll just do it real quick. Oh, shit.
There's some Reaper Death Blossom shenanigans like that.
Yeah,
too.
right.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Like play Reaper and get behind everyone. Like if I want to be McCree, I'm like, all right, bam. Now I'm up here.
Engaged.
Yeah.
Already have, and it's like you take them out on the way down and you already have high noon. I think it's so cool how the voice actor, all the lines,
Yeah.
and it still sounds like Echo. That's really, really cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was our audio director, Scott Lawler, really pushed to get the VO lines. It's obviously a lot of work. It's a lot of extra voice recording, but it feels awesome, and it really speaks to the character of Echo.
She is cool.
Yeah. By the way, at any point, if you want to watch her lore stuff, talk about the lore, any of that, we can do that. Also, it's totally up to you when we bring the PTR up. As soon as you want to play against real people,
Yeah, okay.
you have the power.
So, well, I think if I have the power, I don't want to. I watched the video myself. I know a lot of chat has watched it, and I feel like they're gonna want me to just push it live like right now instead of like when you give them those two options. It's like, hey, do you want to go to a nice 5-star restaurant with a nice spa after, or do you want to have a frozen meal at home. You know, that's what I feel. That's what I feel like the comparison was. But
it wasn't fair.
Well, I don't know. What do you think, Chef? Do you want, if you want to talk lore, I'm 100% in.
I think it'd be great. I think people would love to see her in action. I think it'd be fun for you to get to check her out.